Shafer and Jaros.
And that's not boo, boo, boo you're hearing. That's Duke, Duke. Small in stature, but large when it comes to his bowling ability.
The mighty one. Youngest player ever to win a PBA title at the age of 18. He won in Cleveland. It's been a great career. Getting it back, not quite enough.
That leaves the 2 and the 5, and so far the only player who can consistently get the ball to hook back into the pocket is Jaros.
Shafer out of Elmira, New York.
Power player.
A couple of national titles both this year. 6 regional championships. Opening shot. He got it back.
Shafer has been able to figure out the lanes all year long. 10th telecast for Ryan. Hard and straight, no problem for Duke. Great spare shooter. Pretty good strike shooter as well.
Jaros, after winning with a 257. And really 3 solid games on this condition. Beautiful style. That's the result. All right. Duke, the '94 Tournament of Champions winner. Shafer, second frame. He opened with a strike.
Well, he's got the ball hooking back into the pocket, but he leaves a solid 10.
When you talk about spares, and here's one of the top spare shooters on tour on Duke. And you'd mentioned before in previous shows, Marshall, Ryan-Shafer early on had some problems with single pin spares, especially the 10 pin, but he's come a long way.
Well, every facet of his game has improved, and spare shooting certainly one of them. Tied with Barnes for the most telecasts, 10. No problem making the 10 pin. Certainly disappointed leaving that solid 10, but not only was it difficult to get to the pocket, but boy, knocking them all down was a real trick all week.
Jaros has had a nice year. 11 cashes, 15 tournaments so far. Up in the second.
Ball came in half pocket. 6 pin not able to kick out of the channel and knock the 10 out. A little bit lighter in the pocket, that might have struck. A little heavier, it might have struck. Sort of got it in the half pocket trap zone. You saw the 6 pin try and jump out, but not to be.
Jaros at the line, a little bit like Don Johnson with the right arm flailing to the right, and picks up that 10 pin spare.
Going back a few years, Don Johnson, the former champion of the Tournament of Champions.
Beat Dick Ricker in a 299 to 268.
Ball just sliding all the way down, leaving the 2, 4, 5. Let's take a look at the way Duke sort of pops up at the line. Doesn't stay down, lifts up. Unfortunately, he got some lift in his body, but didn't get enough lift out of those fingers.
Shafer strikes spare.
Well, that hook back. Oh my gosh, didn't think it would.
He didn't think it would either, I don't think, Marshall.
Duke, he picks up the 2, 4, 5. Shafer a little bit similar. Watch the form of Ryan-Shafer. He lifts up the line too. Both smaller men. I don't think it has anything to do with the size. I just think it's just part of what gets them to the line the same way every time.
Jaros' 3rd TV appearance this year. 2 appearances last year. And a 10 pin.
Solid 10.
Well, that was right in the pocket.
All right,
So this match,
come on.
very close right now. Jaros 1 down to Shafer. Duke 4 down to Shafer. Duke putting a piece of tape in the ball. Duke's kind of a fiddler. He's always working to get the exact feel of the ball. Take a look at our scores. Ryan-Shafer right now with that 1 pin lead over Jaros, 4 over Duke. Early in our 3rd match.
Duke with 19 national titles, 4 regional titles, Player of the Year, 94. Won 5 times that year.
Boy, that ball really slid a long way. In fact, it looked as though it may have hit the fingers or thumb hole about 45, 50 feet down the lane, because it looked as if it actually bounced. Look at his release, very straight up the back of the ball, not trying to do a lot to the fingers, just trying to lodge it into the pocket, and he hit the pocket, but just got 9.
Shafer looking for a double. Oh, right.
There's some power from Ryan-Shafer, hitting light in the pocket, throwing the 5-pin into the 7. Similar to when Shafer bowled and won his first tournament at the Orleans in Vegas earlier this year, playing that same trajectory from inside, hooking the ball back into the pocket, even though there weren't a lot of back ends.
Jaros with a high finish, second in the Brunswick Pro Source Don Carter Classic in Dallas. And wow.
Well, and you know, you don't see a lot of that.
They get the 5 out.
He got the 5 out of the 8-10, but well, you wouldn't think they'd leave. There's Carmen Salvino, the great Carmen Salvino, one of my heroes, and certainly a hero of today, Parker Bone III. 2 great Hall of Famers sitting next to each other, and Parker was inducted into the Hall of Fame just earlier this week.
It's Duke. It's the strikes of Duke coming back. Really a great week for Parker Bone, once again in the Hall of Fame, along with Chicago Tribune sports writer, the late Jim Fitzgerald. A great night here in Chicago. 79 in the PBA Hall of Fame. And boy, Jaros, that is tough.
Yeah, but getting back to Jaros's 8-10, I saw a lot of them in the match play portion of the tournament, and I saw some 5 8-10s left by Norm Duke, left by David Husted. I mean, it had more to do with the way the lanes were conditioned than it did with the kind of ball that the bowlers were actually throwing.
In the 5th.
Boy, Shafer making him look easy. I thought that Jaros was getting the ball to tip back to the pocket nicely, but Shafer, he's driving that ball back into the 1-3.
Jaros after that open in the 4th. And in the pocket, a 10-pin Marshall. He left a 10-pin, and then the 8-10, the 10-pin.
And how quickly you go from a position of being the dominant player, as Jaros was in the last match, to struggling and still hitting the pocket, but the carry is gone now. He'll switch balls, throw the ball straight, make this 10-pin, and try and regroup himself for later in the game.
Jaros, no problem with that spare, and right now it is